Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone in between. I'm Amanda,
And I'm Emily.
and today we are continuing Vampyr.
Yes.
Now, when we last left off, like I said, I was going to level up because I was not ready for this next boss fight, which, in my opinion, is the most difficult boss fight in the entire game. So, what I have done in the interim is I have just done some personal quests, and also I found the man that I spoke about earlier, the one that I really wanted to eat. So I'm going to introduce him to Emily, and she will soon see why I want to eat him. But this is actually going to give me a good time to discuss one criticism about this game that I actually agree with.
Really?
Yes, I do love this game, as I've mentioned several times. Um, but Emily, would you like to explain to the audience what the woman in the refrigerator trope is?
Oh, yes. The woman in the refrigerator. It's basically like, brutalizing women just for the sake of brutalizing women, isn't it?
Yes, or just brutalizing them to progress the story or to progress the man's narrative. Like
Yeah.
she has no growth, but the man or the story does progresses.
Yeah, because that was from a comic book, wasn't it? Like, the superhero came home and his girlfriend was in the refrigerator.
Yes, it comes from a Green Lantern comic. It was coined by Gail
Yeah.
Simone, who is currently a comic book author. I believe right now at this moment she's writing Batgirl, but she's also written for Deadpool and other comics, of course. But yes, it means that the woman is progressed. She has no arc of her own. She exists to be a vessel to push the story forward, or her brutalization, meaning her death, her rape, her beating, her abuse, that exists only to propel the man's narrative growth forward, or the story itself forward.
Sorry, I'm smiling because my cat is next to me. I'm
Yeah,
not
you're not
smiling because of
smiling.
the discussion.
Okay.
So
I will
is the criticism that Lady Ashbury?
No, the criticism is that Mary is the woman in the refrigerator.
Oh.
Mary is was a lost opportunity because a lot of people say that Mary is a great character. She had a lot of potential, and her boss fight was obviously the toughest, and it was supposed to be the most emotional in the entire game. But she just didn't get what she should have. She didn't get the progression or the growth that she should have. And I agree. I think that the boss fight should have come later in the game. Because right now we're still in Act 1.
Yeah, because
I think... Yeah,
I'm sorry,
go
go
ahead. I personally think this boss fight should have come after we met Jonathan and Mary's mother. And maybe they could have thrown in... a couple of quests with Jonathan's mother where we got to know some of their backstory and some more history with Mary, because we didn't know like what Mary had gone through before she found Jonathan at the docks until she tells us right before this boss fight. And we'll get into that. You'll see it once we actually get there.
Yeah, because I feel like there wasn't a lot of build up with her. It was just
No.
like, oh, Mary's this killer.
Yeah.
Now, like there was love there at the beginning, but we didn't see much of it. She was upset when she was buried, but there really wasn't a lot of build up for her.
Yeah. And maybe that's because this game was a low budget game. We'll get into that for a bit. But this is the guy that I want to eat. And this also
let's
touches
go
base.
Beat this guy.
Yeah, and I'll also touch base. Well, first I need to heal him because he's sick. But I'll also touch base on why I want to eat him. You'll see that here. This goes into the racism that we were discussing earlier against Eastern Europeans.
Good evening, sir. Do you remember me?
If you're here for a reward, you'll be sorely disappointed. But I'll gladly shake the hand of a fellow countryman.
I'm not here for a bounty. I'm a doctor. Dr. Reed from the Pen.
Hi.
A doctor? In Whitechapel? What an opportunity. My name's Bates. Cadogan Bates.
Do you require assistance, Mr. Bates?
Not me, but your skills could help a lot of people round here. That would help my business, because I say a live tenant's a paying tenant.
So this guy is a landlord. We rescued him because all of his tenants in one of his buildings turned into skulls.
Okay. Did
Since
you
I
rescue
took an
him
oath to help
yes.
people,
Off
camera?
screen,
can
yes.
I
Okay.
be of assistance?
Well, seen better days, that's for sure. But it was bound to happen with all these refugees about. Why should I be sad now? There've always been wars, disease, tragedy. There always will be.
That's an unusual way of seeing things in these trying times.
I don't see why I should shed a tear for another man's woes. I'm healthy, and I intend to stay so.
What is your business exactly?
That's
I
kind
offer
of selfish.
fair lodgings for a modest price to the poor and weary of Whitechapel.
I see. And what about those who cannot pay?
Well, deals can be done, if you know what I mean. Money's not the only currency. After all, I'm not immune to a pretty face.
You are taking advantage of them.
I think I said that in my last 2 playthroughs.
Okay, then you are a repellent individual.
You obviously place
I
yourself
find you
above
have a
the
distasteful
middle
odor about you.
But you are as repellent an individual as I have ever met.
Begging your pardon, I thought you was a man
Sorry, I
who could
just wanna see
appreciate the
Jonathan
complexity
glaring.
of the modern world. Things ain't just black and white, you know.
All right, mesmerize his ass. Let's eat him.
That's simple. I
We
already
need
get
to
good
heal
money
him
from
first.
almost fleeing the
I
war.
thought we
Otherwise,
did.
I won't
You
get it.
imagine
No,
what
I
you'd be
have.
willing
Well,
to
I mean,
pay
yeah,
if I
you
could
have
offer
to sleep
medical
on it.
assistance
Oh.
too?
Mr. Bates, do not make me regret saving your life in this quarantine zone.
In order for me to get the most XP out of him, he needs to be healthy. So that's why we need to sleep on
Tell
it before
me,
we eat him.
what's
All right,
your
then let's go
honest
sleep on it.
opinion of the
Hold on, we need to
increasing
get
violence
as
in
much
London?
XP out of him as
People
we
are just
can.
beginning to discover what we've
Like I
always
said, you
known.
have to get to
This
know
city's
people if you want to get the
rotten
most
to
XP
core.
out of them.
They just took their bloody time to wake
I'm
up
just
and
I'm just
notice.
ready to
What
kill
do you
this man
mean?
already.
People are acting like the violence is news. But it's always been savage down here. It just bubbles to the surface every now and again. Well, rent may be a bit high, and yeah, I've had to evict a few people. But that's business, isn't it?
I only wish I found you later.
Yes.
Sir, I wish I had found you a few nights later than I did. Or maybe never at all. Death would have been a well-deserved punishment for your villainy.
Yeah, but you saved me, didn't you? And you do it again, because you're a decent chap. Just know I'm not.
Take this as my final warning. You will not profit from the misery of others. Business is one thing, but what you do is quite another.
Really? What you gonna do? You ain't from here. You ain't Whitechapel, Doctor. You wouldn't know the first thing about playing dirty, even if you wanted to.
The other person we'll want to talk to is Father Whitaker. His was the last citizen side quest that I did, and plus I wanted you to hear Jonathan's marvelous takedown of him in one of his dialogue trees about why science is evil.
The father, that's this guy. He's like the racist, right?
Yeah, he's the racist, sexist one also
Yeah.
that we are going to eat once we reach Mesmerize level 5.
I mean, he looks crazy, doesn't he?
Yeah.
It's Father Whitaker, my son. So, are you still lost in your rational delusions?
You're mad and dangerous. You're nothing but a soulless butcher. A small-time Torquemada. The Savonarola of Whitechapel.
My son, if you think salvation is a free gift, go listen to the lies of that pompous fool, Joseph.
Oh,
Joseph,
I wish
a
to have a
fool.
vocabulary
Vicar
like him.
Larrabee of St. Mary's Church. While he continues preaching his fraudulent redemption, more and more people die in the streets.
I have heard enough for tonight.
Joseph was the guy that we spoke to after Mary's
Yes.
funeral, right? Yeah.
I'm very glad that you remembered him.
The nice pastor.
He was, yes. He was the one who he was the one Jonathan confessed to, and he was also the one at Mary's funeral. I am actually very glad that you remembered him because you'll see.
Is he gonna be okay?
You'll see.
He's gonna die, isn't he? You're sick, Manda. How dare you?
Oh yes, I also decided that because
He looks terrible.
Well, yeah. I also decided that since I am still eating people, okay, we can assume that he's going to give us about 1,000. Okay. Since I am eating people, I decided to experiment a little bit. So I know earlier I said that I was a bit of a specialist, but I decided why not try to do a little bit more.
Yeah, I think that's the better way to go.
Yeah, just
Because it's like if you're only good at one thing, that's
Yeah,
not
so
you're
I've
not very
added-
versatile. You can't.
yeah. I've added the claws. That's not something I've done before, but so far I like it because sometimes when I run out of stamina, it's nice to have when people get close to you. Backs them off right away.
Why hasn't your XP gone up, Bates?
Oh, well, we can double check him. Yeah. So you see, the docks are never going to be completely healthy because of all the people that we killed, even though everyone is healed. It's always going to remain a stable status.
Let's go eat the Bates. Eat the Bates. Eat the Bates. Eat the Bates.
And then we'll get to the main part. I'm kind of stalling a bit for Mary's boss fight, but I'm wearing my Buff Bunny sweatshirt with the positive affirmations on it.
Yeah.
To help me through.
Yeah.
But
I'm wearing my cloak, sweatshirt, Markiplier, Jacksepticeye. Please be our friends. They will never see this.
Oh well, one can only dream. Alright. Let's kill this motherfucker.
Mr. Bates.
Evening.
Kill Cadogan. Kill Cadogan. Kill Cadogan. Cadogan.
Finally.
I'm so happy.
Oh, when Jonathan murmurs, "Come with me." I'm sorry. Turn around. Turn around.
We're gonna have to back into this.
Okay,
We're
here
gonna
we
have
go.
to back into the murder room, Cadogan.
Alright, you ready?
Follow the bloody red trail. Follow the bloody red trail.
You're
Follow,
ruining
follow the bloody red trail.
You're ruining the moment. Are you ready for this?
Let's kill him. I'll show you how to play dirty, Cadogan Bates.
Was I that evil to deserve such punishment? My only regret is that no one will mourn me. For I have never been loved.
Ooh.
That's kind of sad.
It is sad.
I mean, isn't that the phrase, hurt people hurt people?
Yeah. Okay, so,
Alright, we're done mourning him.
oh right, why am I running away? Let's see what else we can do here to level up.
Are you really
wait,
avoiding
no,
the boss
actually-
fight that much?
What?
Are you really avoiding the boss fight to this level?
Yeah! Yeah, I
just
am!
go to the boss fight.
Oh, I gotta say, just doing this on a higher level is just so much better.
Look at that. You're on a higher level already, but you're still afraid to go fight Mary.
I want to be absolutely sure I'm not fucking up this like we did with Fergal Bansha. Ah, shit, I don't have
I
any.
will see you later. Goodbye, Nazhul.
Okay, what do they need?
You can go upstairs and make some, right?
Yeah, I just need to see what I need. Okay, cold. Cold. Okay, I need 2 treatments for the cold.
Is Pippa, like, short for Philippa? Or is Pippa its own name?
I think it's its own name. I'm just gonna buy a lot of things just because I'm not sure. what else
Opium.
to buy. Yep. Because I forgot what the ingredient I needed was called. I think it was the potassium pomegranate, but I'm pretty sure that's not what it's called. Potassium something, but permangan. But it doesn't matter. I have the treatment for the cold.
Not pomegranate?
No, it's not pomegranate.
Take this. You'll
Pippa
feel
is a
better.
cute name, though.
Thank you, Dr. Reed.
Like
Goodbye,
Duchess
Nazhul.
Kate's sister.
Yeah. Just
But
don't
she's-
wear.
Huh?
Don't wear white. You're not allowed to wear white at my wedding, though.
Well, I didn't think I would, Amanda.
Oh, I was just saying Pippa wore a white dress at the royal wedding too.
Yes, but that was picked for her.
I know. I'm just saying you're not allowed to do this.
You know, I'll just full up in like a full evening gown and like wear a veil.
A
At your
black
wedding,
evening
just because
gown
you
with
said
a
that to
veil.
me.
You'll just show up in a black evening gown with a black
Against
veil.
blight.
Black.
Even Dr. Reed.
You're doing your rounds as usual.
I mean, I've thought about, like,
Unfortunately,
having my bridesmaids wear white at my
got
wedding.
Vampyr in London now.
Oh,
Because I'm
that'd be
probably
nice.
not going to wear, like, a white
I
dress.
have a second treatment for. Oh, for fuck's sake.
I will see you
Tippa
later.
was really sick. She needed
Goodbye.
more cold medicine.
Take care of yourself.
She's going to sleep very soundly tonight after all that opium.
Anyway, I'm sorry I interrupted you.
Oh, anyway, I'm probably not gonna wear like a white dress
Mm-hmm.
at my wedding, depending on when it is. So if I wear like a colored dress, I was like, oh, maybe like Amanda could wear a white dress, as long as your boobs don't distract from me. That's my only requirement. We'll have to strap your boobs down. For those of you that don't know, Amanda has my boobs, our mother's boobs, and the boobs of all of our ancestors combined. She's took all the boobs in the world. They are massive.
It's not.
So on my wedding, we're gonna get just some cling wrap and just wrap Amanda's chest so tightly, and then we're gonna put a sports bra over so that she looks normal.
Yeah, because turtlenecks don't work. Because turtlenecks, it's like, here are the boobs. That's how they work with big chests.
We both like gained like the same amount of weight in college, and then but like I don't gain weight in my boobs, I gain it all in my ass. And so when I came home first, and I came home and my mom was like, honey, you really need to be careful about how much you're eating. And then Amanda came home and all the weight she had gained were just in her boobs. She wore this like tight
Hello again, Mr.
sweater,
Black.
Good evening,
and the
Dr.
first
Reed.
thing our mother said was, Jesus
Doing your rounds
Christ,
as
Amanda.
usual.
Do you need medical attention, sir?
Afraid so.
Yeah, it's kind of like
In the war,
I gained
I was
some
always
weight
worried
when I
about
came to
picking up
London.
something, getting some
And it's like,
infection.
and, I think it was you or
Unfortunately,
mom. They're like, I didn't notice. And they're, where did you
got
gain it? And I was like,
Vampyr in
my chest.
Throughout history, some diseases have done more damage to arms than
And a bit of my
Goodbye.
I've got a little bit of a
You were wise to take care of
love
it.
handles
You're
too. So it's not like all in my
Goodbye.
chest. But
Yeah, of course.
okay, this cheered me up enough.
Oh, good.
Let's go.
Talking about how big Amanda's boobs are always makes her happy.
Oh god. I was actually gonna make an inappropriate joke too, so I'm kind of glad that you said that because I follow a few literature accounts on Instagram, and one of them reposted this tweet. They're like, "I'm looking for a man who values his pursuit of knowledge and academia over everything else, but will still destroy my insides whenever I give him the look."
Oh,
And I was like, that kind of describes Jonathan perfectly. I'm gonna drink this guy's blood before he dies.
Wow, Amanda.
What?
All right, let's go fight Mary.
Yay! This game doesn't really have a meter for you to follow for what ending you're gonna get or how people are going to react to you. So there are two ways that this meeting with Mary can turn out in the beginning, and I'm wondering, based on what we've done so far, which one we're gonna get.
Oh, okay. So
You'll see.
each time you interact with Mary, it could be different.
Yeah, and she says different things during the fight depending on what you've done as well. I expect you to be absolutely quiet.
Okay.
Or I could mute, or if you mute yourself, you can just keep talking into the camera.
You
while I
want me to
focus.
mute myself?
Yeah, so I can't hear you.
Okay. Bye.
You can unmute yourself for this part. You can unmute yourself for the cutscene.
Here's the thing. I'm not gonna do that. She told me to mute myself.
Emily?
She wanted me to be completely quiet.
Emily?
So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna sit here
Emily!
and I'm gonna talk about her. None of her protestations are gonna work. You told me to be quiet!
During the fight, you can unmute yourself for the cutscene.
Make up your mind. Do you want me to talk or not?
Well, don't talk during the fight. Father Larrabee.
You What have you done?
Vicar Larrabee, what happened?
Demon! Hell scourge! Son of perdition!
Vicar! Jonathan is no demon. He's just a loving son, returned from the dead. Like your Christ, Vicar.
Mary, it has been you all along.
Oh, it's me, all right, precious brother.
Why did you lure me here?
I'm gathering the family for a final reunion. All smiling, all dead. Thanks to the good Dr. Reed.
Mary,
Mother, say hello to your son.
Hello, Jonathan.
Mother,
What do we have here, Mother? The prodigal son has lost his tongue. Our Jonathan always had the first and last word at dinner.
Kid.
The entertainer,
I know
the
it's
star
sad.
of our show.
Just kidnapped the mother.
Mary, let me explain.
Shut up. It's my turn to do the talking. I have this nasty hole in my chest, Johnny. It needs to breathe.
Right then, speak.
My prayers went so long without an answer. My husband killed in France. My child carried away by the flu. My brother promising to return in his letters, then disappearing in thin air. I went from hospital to hospital, cemetery to cemetery, grave to grave. I've lifted every stone in London, searching for an end to the nightmare. And there you were, in front of me, on a dark pier.
It was the hunger. You know it now as well.
The joy to have finally found you. I longed for your arms, a final happy ending to so much tragedy, to tell me all would be well again. As you did when we were children. It was this filthy dock where you greeted your sister. I dug a tunnel from my grave with my fingers and teeth.
Mary, I had taken your life before I realized it was you. I tried to kill myself.
But you failed in your attempt. We cannot die, can we? We are a plague. I've watched you, Jonathan. You pull the strings and sever them.
I've done what I had to do. I did not choose this fate. But I will have my answers.
Ugh. There are no answers, Doctor. There's nothing left but pain and lies and treachery.
Mary, wait!
Time to go, Mother. Give my regards to my son.
No! No!
That was different. That was different from my other two.
Oh no, mom is dead.
This is what I do to those I cherish. Can you imagine what I've in mind for you?
I'll destroy you!
Finally, we hear the truth. Dr. Reed, admit it. You're a monster who takes joy in killing, who relishes the chase, the secrecy of it all.
I'm still a scientist. I shall find a cure for this madness.
You lie to yourself. Confess your sins.
Over the slaughtered corpse of our mother!
Are those tears, brother dear? Your heart still bleeds with emotion. My dead heart has dried.
You are mad.
Oh, so that's what I am, Doctor. Mad? I was beginning to wonder. I've been hearing voices, one in particular. That of my dead brother. This is the reason I must
Oh,
kill
right,
you.
because he sired her, so...
Not for your betrayal. Not for our poisonous kiss. Not even for the lies you tell yourself. No. It's so that smooth and wicked voice will stop ringing in my head.
I cannot let you kill again, Mary.
Time to die, brother. And this time for good.
Alright, here we go. Watching Amanda fight Mary. All this build up. And I muted. This is the riveting content you guys have been looking for.
Ah, shit, she killed...
Oh no! Don't kill the priest!
Final thoughts are just to die for.
Oh, that looks like this is gonna be a really long fight. Although Amanda did say that this is the hardest fight of the game, which I think is so interesting because it's so early on. Although I do agree with her, I think that was kind of an anticlimactic build-up to have that such a long monologue and dialogue. Like, there could have been so many more different ways that they could have handled it, and it would have been a much more interesting, like, story arc that you have to uncover. Because that's, I think, a big thing that Amanda likes about this game is that you uncover the story arcs about individual people in London. So it would have been cool to uncover that a little bit more about Mary.
I'll make you kneel like a dog. Come to me, Jonathan.
And especially now with this playthrough, since Amanda said this is a lot different than how she's played it before. Because in this playthrough, the mother is dead. We're now never going to hear more backstory.
Emily, I think you can unmute yourself, actually.
About John and Amanda. Oh, now
I think I've got this.
Well, you just interrupted my commentary. I was telling a nice story.
Oh, sorry.
You do get really intense, though, so I understand.
Oh, I do, yes. Especially... I mean, you've seen me
With boss
fight
fights.
this bitch before.
This bitch.
She is. She's a fucking bitch. I will fucking end you!
What have you done?
First try.
Good job.
Thank you.
Well, brother.
See, what were you so worried about?
It's time to bring this conversation to an end. Forever.
You know I will not play this game.
Calm now, Doctor. Like a rabid dog. Or think you're performing an autopsy.
Don't be ridiculous.
I'll kill them all. The kind Dr. Swansea. The sweet little lass with hair of red. I am the Harbinger, bringing your punishment.
Mary.
Don't you see? This is not me. Flesh that never ages. All nightmare, no dream. Bring it to a close. Let me sleep.
I wonder why Mary went insane when she became a Skull.
I will
She's not a
find
skull.
A cure, Mary.
She's not a Skull, then why...
I swear it.
Why is she so rabid, then?
At last, I can forgive
I'll tell you once we're done with this scene. It's probably because she woke up inside of a coffin and had to dig herself out. And then she was just consumed by this hunger and she heard Jonathan's voice in her head over and over again. And she said that she had a lot of tragedies before dying. Like her child died and this was just the breaking point.
So it wasn't, like, anything to do with the vampirism. Well,
No.
It was something to do with the vampirism because she had to literally dig herself out of her own grave, which sounds horrible.
Yeah. And now I have to walk her
And-
back to her grave.
And she had no idea why she heard her brother's voice in her head.
Yeah,
So
'cause-
can she hear all of his thoughts?
No, she just heard his voice, I think. I don't know what it was.
Yeah, because I know Jonathan can hear his
Maker's thoughts.
maker's voice.
I don't know.
All right, can you walk her back to her grave now, please? Because I don't.
Well, there's another
she's
cutscene
just-
after this, and I don't want us to talk all over it. But yeah, Jonathan
All
had
right.
Swansea and Lady Ashbury as soon as he died, waiting for him and helping him. Mary had no one.
Right, I know. Ozzy, do you want to play too?
Blood. As I shed one last red tear for my fallen sister, I realize the entire world now revolves around this singular word. The epidemic that has stricken London is not the Spanish flu. It is transmitted through the blood via violent biting, turning survivors into frenzied immortals. I am Dr. Jonathan Reed. I am a vampire, born anew into an age of death and pestilence. While plotting factions close in around me, I am sworn to find the source of this epidemic. I am convinced greater perils are still to come. I know the answers I seek are hiding in our blood.
But do you understand why people say Mary was a fridged woman?
Yeah. No, that's what I was saying during when you had me muted.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. I think it was necessary. Because of, I wouldn't have gotten it first try.
Yay!
We never did that on first try. But yeah, personally, I think Mary should have been the second to last boss fight, or the third. Yeah, it should have been either McCollum or Mary that we should have fought before we fight the final boss. And yeah, like I said, I already told you how I think it should have been done. So this is the part where we are able to get into the West End now, which is the last area in the game.
All right. Why couldn't we get into the West End before?
It was quarantined off.
Oh.
It was a wealthy area. So it's quarantined off. Dear Dr. Reed, I hope this letter will quickly find you, for I need to speak to you as soon as possible. The situation is evolving very quickly in the West End, and I'm convinced that we are all now in great danger. The Guard of Prewin has launched a great hunt in London, and for a few nights they have been actively searching and killing any Econ they can locate. Lord Redgrave, chairman of the Ascalon Club, recently contacted me. He wishes to meet you immediately. Please come to my mansion any night that suits you. We must discuss all of this. With this letter, you will find an official pass that will allow you to go through any barricade or quarantine checkpoint throughout the city. Your friend, Lady Ashbury.
You know what I think is so interesting is how, like, I thought about this, like, as we were getting ready to play this game. It's like, we've been straight up rude to Lady Ashbury sometimes, and yet she seems so insistent on being our friend.
Yeah, well, it's kind of canonical, but we'll see how it all works out. Sorry, just gonna check and see if there's any other upgrades I can do for my weapons. There are not. All right, let's talk to Edgar.
I love the name Edgar. It's like PewDiePie's dog.
Jonathan, old chap, how are you tonight? I've seen little of you of late.
I was conducting research in my room, away from the nightly routines.
Of course, of course. Worry not, I understand. The situation has been testy around here. I won't deny it, but we still stand.
Have you any reliable friends in the West End who might assist me?
Unfortunately, you will be alone. Except for our ravishing red-headed acquaintance, of course.
What about the Brotherhood of St.
He likes her.
Of course he does.
There are only a few of us, and most others would not speak to you. I am the black sheep of our brotherly flock, you know.
We've never gotten hints for Edgar until this point.
What of my commission here at Pembroke Hospital?
Nothing to fear, Jonathan. Your position here is in no jeopardy. You remain one of us, and you are always most welcome.
What news do you bring?
The news is not good, my friend. We try to keep the epidemic at bay, but street violence is escalating quickly.
How bad is the epidemic?
It is killing the infected patients faster. In less than 2 days now. The only blessing is that they are contagious for a shorter period.
Tell me more about the violence.
Jeffrey
I need to
McCallum
play with
seems
this
to have
cat
sent his
soon.
war dogs on a hunt. On a nightly basis, Pre-Wen patrols exterminate every skull and vampire they find.
Have they come closer to the hospital?
No. They mainly focus on fallen districts or abandoned buildings. But they're growing in numbers. They must be recruiting heavily.
Oh, Jeffrey.
Another one you want to destroy her insides.
She wants me to meet her at her house. I have been granted safe passage.
Then you are twice fortunate. I have never been invited to the lady's mansion. And with the quarantine and controls, city access is nigh impossible.
Is the quarantine serving any purpose?
It is helping slow the propagation of the epidemic. But as long as we have no clue to its origin, its efficiency is limited.
This is so
What?
Have you never
relevant
entered
to
the lady's
today.
house?
I know.
You are one of her good friends, are you not?
My dear Jonathan, you have no idea how reclusive the good lady normally is, nor in what great esteem she must hold you to let you into her domain.
Thank you.
All right.
We shall speak again later.
Let's head over to Ashbury's house.
Okay.
Just because I've never seen her opinion of you also is impacted by how many people you kill.
Ah.
And again, in both of my previous playthroughs, I got the 2 good endings, so she thought of me in a very good way. So, but also in both of those playthroughs, Jonathan's mother survived. So,
So they may not end up dating, as they kind of do.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. That was another criticism of this game, is their relationship. There, people are like, "Oh, this seemed a bit more, forced."
Yeah.
Romance.
Like it seemed like she met him and was just like instantly infatuated, and nothing he did or said really bothered her.
Well, it was also, yeah, it was more like, oh, wow, you guys were kind of started out as friends and now you're not. And some people are like, well, that's just kind of how courtship worked in the olden, because they're both kind of old-fashioned and that way.
Yeah, but she's still a strong person, I think. Like she has a daughter on her own, and
yeah, of course. And I'm just gonna let them kill each other. Oh, but yeah, so that's another point. I'm not sure if I want to chalk that up to the fact that this is a low budget game. Like the creators, the publishers said that if they sold 500,000, then they would have turned a profit. That's how low the budget was. I mean, 500,000 is still nothing to sneeze at, but it's still not a lot.
No.
You must prepare, child, for the earth is bleeding and the harvest is upon us.
Stay away, whoever you are.
This is no time for petty quarrels, my champion. Can you not hear? The famished queen has awoken.
What do you want to say?
What the hell is the famished? Hi, Ozzy. He climbed. He climbed up his scratch post.
What is the famished queen?
Yeah, what's the famished queen?
Do you remember the poem from the
No.
beginning?
No.
The Red Queen sleeps. It's not. That doesn't answer your question. Well, our questions will be answered in this act, but point is, pick a.
Okay, go away.
Leave me. Return to the shadows and never come back.
But the shadows are our home. And wherever you stand, my son, I stand beside you.
I had to kill Mary.
I have known your pain, child. Do not succumb to
Silence! I dismiss you now!
The land calls for a champion. All and everyone needs you.
Silence.
I hate people like this. I'm old and wise, and I speak in riddles, and I need you to do my bidding, but I'm not going to tell you directly what I need you to do. You must figure it out on my own. Listen to my riddles. Like, just be straightforward about it.
Yeah. Oh, but another thing. So I told you that this game needed to sell 500,000 copies to make a profit.
Uh-huh.
It reached that, or just about that, in the first month.
Oh. I was gonna say Finsbury Gate. That's a... Well, Finsbury Park, that's a stop.
Yeah, it is.
A tube stop.
But,
They want war. I'll show them war.
Whatever this poor woman did, nobody deserves this kind of punishment.
So that was another vampire.
yeah, it was an Ekon. You'll find Ekons in this city. Like, there's one right up ahead. Not this city, in this part of the district. And they'll show up in other districts, too. I'm just gonna let them fight it out for a tiny bit, just because that Ekon is I know he's a blood Ekon, and they'll drain you. So I'm just gonna let them weaken him up a little bit.
What do you mean it's a blood
before I
Ekon?
step in. There are different specialties you can focus in. So you see that red trail that comes out of his fingers?
Yeah.
That'll take away my blood.
But why does he want to fight you?
Because he's a wild Ekon. And they'll just say, oh, rogue Ekon. It's very much like a rogue Scowl. Like, you know how not all Scowls are bad people, but...
yeah.
Like old Bridget isn't bad.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go for the Ekon. Ah, don't shut! Fuck. I didn't realize it was a gas man. That's the worst. Okay, let's see how Lady Ashbury...
What a splendid house.
Let's see how she greets us.
Dr. Reed, welcome. How are you?
As good as one can be, considering the circumstances.
Yes. Death and affliction seem prevailing themes of late. Please, come in. We have much to discuss.
I think she called me
I
Jonathan.
haven't disturbed you.
In.
Not at all. Actually, I was counting on you visiting me tonight.
How strange, this painting. Beautiful, melancholic, yet with a haunting dignity.
Indeed. A long time ago, a friend asked me to paint this for him, but I kept it in the end.
I did not know you were a painter, my lady.
There are many things you do not know about me, young Ekon.
What do you want to say?
I want to say call me Jonathan. But we did just have the testy conversation with the maker, and I don't know. I also want to say, why keep mocking me? But
yeah, because I said call me Jonathan in my last two, but I don't want to be mean to her.
Yeah.
Why do you continue to mock me?
Please excuse my behavior, Jonathan.
Okay.
I tend to tease my friends when uneasy.
What is bothering you, my lady? Your letter was quite alarming.
We will talk about this in a few minutes. For now, I would like you to tell me about yourself. How have you been since we last met, my friend?
Mary was the murderous vampire.
My sister Mary. She was made a vampire in the same way I was. She was the one killing all those people everywhere I went.
Vengeance is a powerful force for those betrayed. Made vampire through careless error. Victims by surprise.
I swear
I killed her
I did
twice.
not intend that.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Oh.
If only I had known then how vampires are created.
That is the scientist speaking. In truth, most of us do not know how it really works. Personally, I make sure my prey will not return to haunt me.
What do you mean?
I am merciless, Jonathan.
I only feed on the dying, and I make sure they are dead before leaving their remains.
In the end, she implored me
Oh,
to
we
put
can
an
say
end
it.
to her misery. But still, I felt I had taken her life twice.
I am so sorry for my accidental cruelty. Had I known your dear Mary was still alive, I would never have sent you to pray for her soul in that church.
There is no need to apologize, my lady. Your words have been most helpful in these difficult times.
Thank you, my friend. If only we could have guided your poor sister through her terrible nightmare.
Alright. The Maker?
I came to the conclusion that my maker, whoever he might be, must be a powerful vampire. Certainly extremely old.
How have you reached this conclusion?
Just ask both questions.
Yeah.
He is the only immortal I've seen appear in an ethereal form. His voice, his words seemed ancient. It was disturbing.
I am afraid you are right. The simple fact that your blood made Mary such a strong Ekon proves that you must be of ancient lineage.
I felt this power radiating like an aura every time he appeared.
Most ancestral vampires of England were killed by the Guard of Priwen half a century ago. I wonder who your maker could be.
You have no idea who he could be?
Some of the ancient ones fled England. Some may still be in hiding. All I know is you, my friend, are a pawn in some secret and obscure game of chess.
I think I should ask.
Well, that's comforting.
Your ladyship.
Mm-hmm.
After all, it was you who invited me to settle this most urgent of matters.
Fair enough, Jonathan. The situation is critical. We do not have the luxury for etiquette.
Please do not misunderstand me. I would be delighted to discuss mundane matters and idle trivialities.
If we survive the dark nights to come, we shall have all the time in the world to speak, you and I. For now, please follow me, Jonathan.
I must say, your house is exquisite.
One of the advantages of living forever is having the time to be selective with one's furnishings. I took the liberty of having tea served.
You can still drink tea.
Can't keep it down, but I do so enjoy the aroma. Let us toast to make-believe. And of course, to your health, Jonathan.
And to yours, my lady.
Please, call me Elizabeth.
So, my lady, why truly did you invite me here?
I've been asked to deliver an official invitation to meet the Ascalon Club.
Who are they, to begin with?
Who are they? Really?
They are the embodiment of vampire law in Britain. Some say they influence the destiny of the Empire. Some believe they merely protect it.
Next.
Will they fight Priwen?
Will they fight the Guard of Priwen?
I doubt it. Fergal was Lord Redgrave's executioner forever and a day. By defeating that beast, you deprived them of a powerful weapon.
How many are they, I guess?
How many are
Might as well go through all of them.
Small number
Yeah.
of powerful and deceitful immortals. All of them entangled in a sticky web of shadow cabinets, influencing trade.
That is a really elaborate way to describe them. I would have been like, oh, just a bunch of assholes.
Yeah, old boys club. I don't know if the term old boys club was invented along this time, but
No, but yeah, definitely an old boys club. Alright, should I trust them?
Should I trust them?
Of course not. Do not misunderstand me. They can be very useful, but I believe their long-term goals differ from yours.
Should I lie to them?
Should I lie to them?
We all lie, Jonathan. It falls to you to choose your behavior. The most important rule is to show them due respect.
Why meet them?
Yeah. Again, might as well go through all of them.
Because
Yeah, that's
nothing
true.
truly important can be achieved in this city without their consent. They could be powerful allies in this current situation.
Why use you to contact?
Right, finally,
Because
why
they
use
know
you?
We are close. The Ascalon Club has many spies. Their main occupation is gathering information and then deciding how to use it.
Have they threatened you in any way?
Not at all.
Yeah.
Their message surprised me at first, but it is only logical considering the critical situation in London.
Why not ask for your help? Since you are obviously a powerful and influential immortal yourself.
You have to understand that I am invisible to the eyes of Ascalon, for I am a woman. That suits me well, as long as they leave me alone.
Boys Club.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, you probably
I can't
just
stand
don't
too
bother
long.
me with your sexism, and we'll all be good.
Yeah.
Be sexist over there.
Yeah.
They have done nothing but impede my investigations since I became known to them. Why
I wonder
would
if
they want to
Ascalon
see
means
me now?
anything. I'm
I
gonna
guess
look that
they
up.
now see you
It's
as
a
Ascalon
lance.
material.
Oh,
They must
cool.
have found out what happened to your sister. Proof
It's
of
the
potent
lance
blood
of
flowing through your veins.
I'm not sure
William
I can accept
Marshall.
their invitation. I
Oh,
have
a
seen
knight, Sir
their
William Marshall.
handiwork, how Fergal the Beast imposed
I think.
the club's law.
You have no choice, Jonathan.
You can double check.
Even
Fact
I
check me
would
on
not
that though.
openly defy Lord Redgrave, the chairman of the Ascalon Club.
What can you
I
tell
assume
me
you're
about
Googling, so I'm
Lord
gonna keep.
Redgrave?
Yeah, I am.
Who is he?
Lord Redgrave is the founder and chairman of the Ascalon Club. Most mortals know him as the Earl of Bristol. He is rich and extremely influential.
Have you met him?
Only on rare occasions, for he never goes outside the club. And women are not awarded membership, even immortals.
He's like the Mike Pence. He's like, I never contact women.
The Mike Pence.
How long has he been a vampire?
Lord Redgrave claims to be the progeny of William Marshall, the most valiant knight who ever lived. If that is true, he could be very old.
I wonder how all these people can be like lords and ladies and stuff like that, and yet be so old. I mean,
So in the Highlander movie, the immortals would fake their deaths, and they would just take on new identities and just keep the title or keep wherever they were living, I guess.
Okay.
How powerful is his reach?
The Ascalon
How powerful
Club
is his
may be
reach?
the most influential secret society in England. Not all its members are immortals, but they are all very powerful.
They are not all immortals.
So I did look up
The club is
Ascalon.
mainly comprised of political figures who seek the safety
It's
and
a coastal
expansion
city
of
in the
the
southern
Empire.
district of Israel
most
on the
loyal
Mediterranean
are
coast.
awarded immortality.
It's also something in Ben 10. It's also something in Prime Earth universe of the DC world. It's something in High School DxD and Guild Wars, and and Castlevania, and there is a David Ascalon.
There you go. Well, I believe here they say it's a lance of William Marshall.
All right.
Yeah, whatever.
Any familiar or famous names?
As the richest, most relentless British tycoon, Aloysius Dawson is considered ideal Ascalon material and has been watched for years.
If you are convinced I must meet
Heed
him,
your
I will
advice.
heed your advice.
Thank you, Jonathan. I understand your reluctance to brush shoulders with London's vampire elite, but we have no choice.
Is the situation that critical?
Yes. The Guard of Priwen has called for a second great hunt of our kind, and they will stop at nothing to eliminate us.
What is a great hunt?
The first great hunt was launched about 75 years ago. In just a few nights, the Guard of Priwen located and destroyed most of the old British vampires.
Why start a second one?
Priwen has always seen us immortals as a threat to mankind. My guess is they suspect one or more of us is the cause of the epidemic.
How did you survive the first hunt?
I fled, Jonathan. Like most vampires who survived that slaughter. And I secretly came back when I was sure they had lost my trail.
Will the Guard of Priwen and the Ascalon Club fight each other?
I doubt it. If Priwen really launched a great hunt, I think most of the Econs I know would flee the country to escape the bloodbath.
I think I saw them kill an Econ on the way to your house. They seem to have a list with names.
To launch another great hunt, they must have collected intelligence on vampire identities and whereabouts. They are a resourceful lot.
Should we fight back? I will not be hunted down like an animal again.
I admire your courage, Jonathan. But the best way to fight them is to put an end to the epidemic. This is the only way to clear the air.
You should flee then. Leave London, the country even. I have seen the Guard in action. They are merciless.
Your concern warms my heart, Jonathan. But fear not. If the situation gets too dangerous, I shall retreat to my secret Scottish manor. I could hide you in my luggage, if you wish.
Thank you for the offer. I shall keep I don't have much to do here. There is a
Just put the casket, like, in the luggage.
Lord Redgrave, be my maker.
I doubt it. If Lord Redgrave had made you his progeny, he would not have seemed so surprised when you demonstrated the strength of your lineage.
Will I ever discover the identity of my maker?
Maybe not, Jonathan. We know for sure you were made by a powerful vampire, but most of those fled England long ago.
Please forgive me.
Although, I mean, you have a long time to figure it out.
Yeah.
Was it you? Did you make me?
Oh, Jonathan. I know you shall always have a gnawing doubt about who made you an immortal. But I swear, I had nothing to do with it.
You have no idea at all? You seem to know so many things about the secrets of the vampire underworld.
Even if I had my suspicions, I would not dare give you a name so soon. All I can say is this. I will make inquiries and keep you informed.
So she's gonna help us investigate too.
That's good. I mean, it seems like she's not too mad at him.
No.
For all the people that we've killed.
She has a lot of self-control, though.
Yeah.
What is the plan?
The plan is we both try to save this city, you and I. Go to Ascalon, accept their proposition, and use their influence to promote your agenda.
How can I save London?
The epidemic is the priority. You must find its origin and put an end to it. This is the best way to solve the crisis.
What will you do?
I still have contacts and old friends in this town. I shall make some inquiries and attempt to learn more of the situation. We need clarity.
So you just gotta stop the whole epidemic single-handedly?
Yep.
One day soon,
let's find those
I will
answers.
have to find the answer to this mystery.
And I shall help you in your research, I promise. For now, you must go to the Ascalon Club and play their game.
Will I see you again at the Pembroke Hospital?
No, you will find me here if you need me. I shall conduct inquiries alone, and we can then share our discoveries.
will you not visit Pembroke again?
No. I must remain discreet and avoid attracting attention to Pembroke Hospital for the time being.
But how will you sustain yourself?
I shall not, Jonathan. Fear not. I'm used to it.
Oh, right. So, Edgar... one of the questions you could ask Edgar in the beginning is why the hospital was named Pembroke Hospital.
Mm-hmm.
And it was for the Earl of Pembroke.
Mm-hmm.
So William Marshall was the Earl of Pembroke.
Oh.
When will we meet again?
William Marshall has a
As soon as you meet
breach.
Lord Redgrave, I suppose. Fear not, my dear. I shall only be a heart's beat away.
I want to thank you for all your support and your help, my lady.
Could you do me a last great favor and call me Elizabeth?
I should be honored, my lady.
Then it is settled. Finally, some good news in these dark hours.
Thank you. I appreciate the advice. I had best prepare myself to meet this Lord Redgrave now.
How thrilling to meet the Earl of Bristol in the flesh, so to speak.
Something tells me you're not very keen on the man.
Don't get me wrong. The gentlemen of the Ascalon Club are honorable, but their attitude and opinions are somewhat antiquated.
I see.
As long as they deny access to female applicants, I will leave them to their antediluvian considerations as to the natural order of things. Jonathan, promise me you'll be careful.
Of course. But why the fear in your voice?
Look at me, Jonathan.
I am.
I mean, really look at me, young Ekon.
Touch my boob. That's where we are now.
We may be deceptive by nature, but this heart of mine has always told the truth.
Elizabeth.
Go, my friend. But come back to me soon.
All right, yay!
Yay! They
We're gonna go
still
to
love
the old
e-
boys club.
Yay, but they still love each other.
Yay! It's canon.
Despite-
They have to.
Yeah, that's true. But we'll
Alright.
see if powering up will affect that down the road, though.
Alright, we're gonna end this playthrough right here. What'd you think about all the women in the refrigerator commentary? Let us know down in the comments below if you have any other examples, any other points you want to bring up. Let us know in the comments. Smash that like button if you liked this video, and please subscribe to our channel if you haven't subscribed already. And we're gonna keep playing Vampyr. And for right now, I'm Emily.
And I'm Amanda.
We're M&M, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!
Bye!